Welcome to another live stream. I'm Chillmonger. I put a positive. Did you like my thumbnail? A positive little twist on the thumbnail asking about Captain America when this succeeds with the arrow right at the. So, why I did that was because it was going to be let's talk about this failure. I'll give both perspectives. I'll just start with positivity. Should this movie, which they just gave a projection of opening up to an $86 million box office gross, should this movie succeed, that's going to be awesome, right? It's going to mean that Anthony Mackie carried the franchise. His acting prowess was just unbeatable. Amazing work from him. You see, the audience, they waited 4 years since Falcon and Winter Soldier, and they missed him. Is the spin that you can definitely put on this should this movie do well. What will they spin on it? I don't know. I can't say for sure. Maybe it'll be Harrison Ford. Everyone wanted to give that guy his flowers on his way out. After Indiana Jones, the audiences were really looking to get Harrison Ford, and they got Harrison Ford in a kick-ass performance. I could see that being the lie that people are gonna float with. There's also the lie that Harrison Ford was the star of this and he was promoted more heavily, and due to that, that's why more people showed up to the movie theaters, and that's why I had such a big box office gross. They could give credit to every supporting cast member in the world. Oh, this was a great cameo. See, that's why cameos work. There's a lot of things that they can say to give this some credit. So the article from Anthony D'Alessandro, Captain America: Brave New World, eyes at 86 million, 95 million opening price over the President's Day weekend. And I'm not sure if they included the Monday when they said that. The Friday to Monday figure is also bound to be $100 million plus at this point in time. There, got it. So they weren't including the Monday. Now, when you include the Monday, it grosses over 100 million. We have to put that into perspective. The projection takes into account the change up in the cast in the Captain America franchise. Yes, it does, doesn't it? To call this movie Captain America is a stretch in logic that I don't really ascribe to. It is the Falcon movie. It is Sam Wilson's film. Brave New World is the title of it, and I can agree there. But when we say this is the fourth Captain America, let's look at the other Captain Americas did and compare it. It's very, very disingenuous. You actually know who you're talking to, and you know if you should continue talking to that person if they ever try that. This is a different. This is the Captain America franchise? No, it's not. There's no continuity between that and this, except that Sam was his sidekick at one point. He was a supporting cast member, and now he's not. There's no other cast members who are on all of the Captain America movies. Steve Rogers' first movie was in the 50s. Nobody from there is still alive. Howard Stark was in the first. Tony Stark was in the third Captain America title. It's chatter. This is the Captain America franchise. I would I wouldn't say there's nothing to compare. They're still Marvel movies, but it's just disingenuous if we go completely all the way. This is the Captain America franchise. So the article says now, beginning of February. Hold on. The projection takes into account the change up in the cast in Captain America and the overall reset of the franchise. The next installment is a grounded title a la 2014's Cap's Winter Soldier, which opened to 95 millions over there. Hey, that's a good number that I need to look up now. If we know that that opened up at 95 million, let's compare it to movies like that. So I'm on Box Office Mojo. Quantum Mania, which overall grossed 476 million, okay? International box office was 54%, which we know that international box office will not be the same. People aren't going to show up for the person named Anthony Mackie with his melanated skin. That's just a reality. But Animan Quantumania, which grossed 400, the opening weekend was, I hope you can see it say 106 right over here. Let me check my screen. You can't see it. You see it now. 106 opening weekend. And that wasn't enough. It only reached 400 million. When we're over here looking at Captain America: Brave New World, Falcon, estimated to gross 86 million or 95 million domestically, Overall, that movie just makes 400 million. Well, there's 400 million bucks of, if it goes the Quantumania route, where it's kind of not well received and it just dies. Is $400 million enough to support a Marvel movie's budget? It never has been, man. It never has been. There's another film here that I got cut, paste. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. This film grossed 800 million. So if you're looking and you're aiming to make an $800 million worldwide gross, and again, the international audience showed up here because 57% of the gross was international. I want to be on screen when I talk on the top. Do I have that view? Oh, I got rid of it. I got rid of it. I'll just be here. The thing is, this domestically opened to 118 million. That's what we're looking for a movie that had good word of mouth and everyone recommended to their friends, you need to watch Guardians 3. It opened at 118 million and then the worldwide gross was 845 million. Good movie in a summer month. This launched in the summer. Falcon is launching in the winter. A historically terrible month February is. This isn't going to be the outcome that they want it to be. And if it is the outcome that it becomes and they succeed with this movie, we got to give it a lot of credit. And I want to just be clear where the credit goes to. It goes to the Anthony Mackie-ness of it all. But does the blame go to Anthony Mackie? Imagine if it gets all the credit, if it gets all the money and the credit goes to something like, you see, people like the word Captain America. That's what they showed up for. I disagree with that one. I think Captain Marvel did a great job. The second Captain Marvel movie had the title Marvel in it, and it didn't really make money. It made 200 million. Actually, I can find that. I'll find it. Marvel. The Marvel's 2023, and oh god, it was 206 million worldwide. This domestic opening weekend was for 46 million. The rules of doubles. We just doubled this 46 million, and that's what Captain America Brave New World is estimated to make. And so it'll double the worldwide. Just, assuming the international audience shows up, which it won't. We're scheduled for a disaster. I don't really think Captain Marvel worked. I don't think Captain America will sell people on it. I think they'll look at the poster and they'll see that, well, nobody's in the center of the poster, which is a problem that they have. But the one person's face who we do see there, who's melanated, is Anthony Mackie, and then we see red skin color with a Hulk. That's all the poster shows you. That is gonna speak to these audience goers and this movie. Like I said in my thumbnail, will it succeed? Nah, it's not gonna succeed. That's the poster right there. People see him on the right side in an international market, and they're not going to show up. They're gonna say, "Oh, that's not." I can wait for it on Disney Plus. The international box office is very key to selling these global franchise movies, and we are at a state where even when people like to say, "Well, Black Panther proved it wrong," if I compared Black Panther's box office gross in China to Captain Marvel, you'll see a huge difference. It's one for me to say that. So Black Panther, 2018, give me China. I want China. Chinese box office opening was 65. Overall grossed $105 million for China. Remember that Black Panther 2018 was 105 million. Captain Marvel, was it 105 million? It also grossed $1 billion. Both of these are $1 billion grossers. 1.1 for Captain Marvel. China, $154 million. That's an additional 50 something million dollars, 50 million bucks. Additionally, that didn't happen to the Black Panther franchise. Even when someone says it can still sell overseas, you're right, it did sell overseas. In the United Kingdom, there are many melanated folk who showed up to see that movie. If I went to Poland or any homogenous society, you'd see how terrible it did. So I'm on what movie I'm on? I'm on Captain Marvel. Where's Poland at? Poland right here. $4 million for Captain Marvel. That was what Poland gave to Captain Marvel, and Sweden gave it 4 million too. We'll remember these two. 4.7 million Sweden, 4.5 million Poland. And when I return to the Black Panther and I look for Sweden and Poland, here's Sweden. I was wrong. Well, they sure showed up in Sweden. Poland did worse though. Poland did worse. Um, Poland doesn't have. Fuck. I wish I would have said this first, because then you're gonna say, "Ah, Chomang, you're switching up what you're saying." Poland is very nationalist, and they are different from Sweden. I can see Sweden with their immigration policy. I can see like how there are truly dark-skinned people who showed up to make up for that, to make that Sweden, box office what it was. I'm gonna support Anthony Mackie. I like him as an actor. I'm still a Marvel fan. I'm one of those guys that's been the most looking forward to Cap 4, but even I'm anticipating Cap 4 box office will bomb. The money they had added onto this film for the reshoots just further extended the line it needed to just break even. Hello, Drew Manchu. How are you doing today? I'm doing awesome. I want to expand on what Cryptid just showed us right there. If I go to IMDb's recent article where they tell us it has a massive budget due to reshoots. Whatever the reason was, a massive budget is not a good news story. I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry. Due to reshoots, whatever reason that they try to provide you, I think it's worrisome. So, here it is. A budget has skyrocketed to 350 million to 375 million. A movie with a budget over 300 million is Kathleen Kennedy levels of incompetence. It was reshot. Scenes from wrestlers like Seth Rollins were cut out from this film, completely cut out. That's terrible news. We shouldn't be looking and planning to make a movie that goes 350. We know it has been reshot. They gave a Texas test screening, and many people didn't like the parallels that it had to real world. What happened on 2021, January 6th in Washington, D.C. was too similar, and it made those moviegoers view themselves as the villains of the movies, and they upchucked it. Now, a lot of times liars lie, and the truth is the film's lead was black. It's Captain America. It's called Captain America, but there's no Captain America in it. And those are the complaints about it. And they'll just lie and they'll say something like, yeah, well, I just didn't like that scene. You were never going to please them. Reshooting the movie there was nothing to fix here. They changed the Israeli character. Like, it's an Israeli character. Anyone who's that strongly against Israel, they're not going to change their mind because you said it's Russian now. It's a Black Widow program spy. That's all. Nothing to see here now. You're adapting Sabra. You're adapting a agent of intelligence for the illegal occupiers right now in Palestine. No one was going to be okay with that. No one was going to say, "Oh, they changed it. Ah, good. Good job. You didn't need to reshoot a single scene over there. You didn't need to balloon this budget to $350 million." Knowing that, and knowing like Guardians' budget wasn't 300 million for Guardians 3, knowing everything that we know, there's no reason why this movie will be a hit. All it can lean on, hello Jedi Mike, all it can lean on is being a good film that's entertaining and having a life on Disney Plus of people revisiting. Its strength is in the quality of the film and merchandise. See? They make movies for a multitude of reasons. One of them is the merchandising opportunities. How many people are going to want to buy outfits that match the Falcon wings that they sell on Marvel's website or through a third party? How many times will somebody look at the logo or the shield that is a different, unique variation, and they'll say, that's the real Captain America shield that I want? How many fans of this Sam Wilson character, his fighting style, will be made from this? And in the long run, in future, how much boosting Sam Wilson's character will they make up in, video game skins when they play Marvel Rivals or Fortnite? the licensing fee on the licensing that they will the licensing? That is the word, yeah, when they Marvel will license out the IP, how much money can they get back? And they say what they say for Iron Man, "Hey, it's gonna cost this much if you guys want Iron Man. It's gonna cost this much when you want Falcon, or is it gonna be this much?" The quality of the movie gets to dictate the asking price for this IP. It increases the equity of the brand. And that has got nothing to do with the theatrical revenue. Theatrical revenue is how we see a return immediately. In the long run, this movie, if it's the best Marvel movie that has ever happened, which is possible, however anti mantle swapping you guys are, I am too. It is possible that this could be better than Avengers Endgame. It could be the most well written. Everyone's acting performances could just be Oscar worthy. That hasn't been ruled out yet. I am aware of how unlikely this scenario is, but it's just saying this could be the best movie, or this could be someone's best movie. And that someone could be somebody who drops $500 this year on the Captain America franchise outside of the movie theater. That doesn't count on this box office mojo chart, but it will count, and Marvel will consider it when they decide whether or not they should make a second movie leading with Sam Wilson, casting Anthony Mackie one more time. Crypt is as I think this film needs to make 800 million just to break even. Well, when we look at what that says, the $350 million budget to 375, you see it better now. 350 to 375. 800 is not enough. When a movie makes 800 million in the box office, they split half of that with the theaters. You split half with a movie theater? How are you going to market this movie? The marketing budget must only be 10 million bucks. Usually marketing budgets are 100 million or over for these Marvel films. They are going to market this movie, and they have been marketing this movie. I've seen a lot of trailers and advertising so far. We know it'll ramp up towards the month. I'm just with it. You know who's not with it? Michael Nemo. They should give Brave New World the tagline from the director of other shit shows like Cloverfield Paradox. Julius Ono did Cloverfield Paradox. They should get on top of Julius Ono. He's the director that's not there anymore, though. He's the director that they had huge creative differences with, and he'll be credited, but we don't know anything about who was directing and filming this who was on set last month in December when they were still filming this movie. The people who like Cloverdale Paradox, Field Paradox are going to want to come just because you didn't like him, Michael. People who watch that show, that's the reason they got him. They said, oh, this is a hit. Cloverdale Paradox is a hit. Do they even have merchandise? You're going to have to go to Target. You're going to have to go to the stores, go to one of those video game shops, and you'll see that shirts are being made. Hot Topic has shirts right now for this new movie, as they do with every. How much shirts do they make? And then how many are still on the shelves, and how many will be buy one, get one free next week? That's the question. They have merchandise, and they will oversupply, and there's not much demand. Most people is rooting for the film. I like this opinion because the lead is a black actor, Anthony Mackie. It doesn't deserve this hate at all. There's a thread here that I'm going to show you on Twitter from ATL Blurred, and it's the last time me and him spoke on Twitter, so it'll pop up right when I find it. I'm not sharing my screen yet again. Latest football. Here we go. Stop sharing screen. Sorry, this is a live stream, so I'm going to take my time with this stuff, but there we are. Dear Blurds, recast T'Challa. I know how many of you have no interest in Brave New World, Captain America Brave New World, but something you need to consider, your plan to either not see the film at all or watch it bootleg hurts black properties because Anthony Mackie is a star, and there were 36 people who clicked on that. Anthony Mackie being the star meant something to ATL Blurred, and that's the opinion that I've seen rolled around. Will it hurt black properties long term? I had a quick response to that. As you saw here, hard to be on board with the film's message. I also believe that the gross for Black Panther in 2018 is the rebuttal I will point to when Brave New World gets that unearned blame. Black Panther grossed $1,346,000,000 American dollars from a domestic box office and an international box office. It is domestically sixth place. It has $700 million domestically only. This is an all-timer, and it's a black lead and a supporting cast. So I think that I can really say, yeah, I know this movie didn't make money, but Black Panther did. There's not going to be no lingering effects, long-term effects from this movie in Hollywood. They will continue at the same slow rate be giving you the black lead films. But we are proving the point that you'd make more if it was an original IP that is not a race swap or a mantle swap or a black version of a white thing. Ariel Little Mermaid. They could have made more money if they had a white Little Mermaid, and they would have made more money if they cast Halle Bailey to play some black princess that they just created and has her own original songs. That'd make more money than what happened here with Little Mermaid. Some people will say, no, the brand power of Little Mermaid, or in this case, the brand power of Captain America is going to carry this film. We'll see just how far it carries it. It's almost a good thing that we're going to go through this because we'll have like material data that we can see on this mantle swap stuff. Sometimes a mantle swap will happen with a supporting cast member or on a TV show. This is a mantle swap happening, and we know how movies made it. We know how Winter Soldier made it in 2014. 11 years later, time out. 2014 was 11 years ago. The years start coming and they don't stop coming. Time in. We learned 11 years ago how much the Winter Soldier made, and we can compare how, okay, clearly audiences don't want this because the brand since Winter Soldier has only like multiplied in fandom. People are just going to watch it on Disney Plus, and they'll say the Sony thing. Oh, we do good on Netflix. We do good. On streaming, our numbers are great. They'll say. Back to this tweet thread. It was from. So I said what I said about the Black Panther film, and he hit me back up with, "What do you think the message is?" And I said, "Assimilating." And he said, "That's not how I took it, but okay." Chillmonger said, "Sure you don't want to fight me?" Oh no, we didn't talk about anything after that. He said he has to go watch football. So assimilating. Proximity to whiteness is movie qualityness. When he was Falcon, he didn't get a movie. He called himself Captain America, and now he gets a movie. I don't like that message. And it doesn't mean I hate white characters. It is the abandonment of your identity, formerly Falcon, which was a brand that was of it wasn't a Caucasian brand. Now you're going by the Caucasian brand. We deem it as a promotion, and now your movie quality, that's assimilating, and I don't want it. I don't want it. For me, realistically speaking, if this film had no controversy, I always thought this film was going to make around 600 million. Even with no controversy, huh? It would still make less than Guardians Volume 3 and less than Thor Love and Thunder, even without the controversy. Mike says, "Hey, did you hear the one about the comic book distribution company that declared bankruptcy?" But I'm sure this was important too. Tell me all about it, Mike. Tell me all about this comic book company that, Mike, you will have a link. There's a link right now, Michael. The link is right there. Tell me what you mean. There's a comic book company recently, a distribution company that declared bankruptcy. Who are the distributors? Diamond? Lunar? Penguin Random House? Well, who? Who? It's the brand power of Marvel, not Captain America. The brand power of Marvel isn't that powerful. Quantumania only got 400 million, and that was a February release. Why should this movie make less? Is Ant-Man anything more different than Falcon? They fought each other in the first Ant-Man movie. But is the Ant-Man brand any different level than the Falcon brand? They're roughly about the same And skin color thing is another thing. So why? Well, Mike is already here. Look at him. Why would that matter? Diamond declared Chapter 11. He beat you to it, Mike. Are you muted?
I don't think so.
I hear you now. Yeah.
Oh, Diamond Comic Distributors declared bankruptcy today. Chapter 11.
How does this affect my local shop, and how does it affect you?
Well, if they still use Diamond, then they won't be getting their books.
When they just switch to Lunar, or
Well,
there's
they
no
could,
like,
but it's a process. It's not just
yeah.
like you switch over or whatever. But according to them, they said that apparently they're going to everything's. It's like the thing with the dumpster. Everything's fine. The little boy sitting there with the tea or whatever, and everything's burning around them. Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's sad to see, but this is, I guess, what happens when you monopolize things and you don't customer service. Kind of like if you continue to ignore people who say, maybe you should recast a prominent African American male character who's one of the most prominent Black superheroes in their universe, and you continue to ignore that for God knows how long. Eventually, after a while, those people will probably walk away or just move on to other things like video games or grow up or whatever, and then you'll lose them totally. But maybe you should listen to your audience. Maybe you should actually do the things that they say, especially when there's different people. Like when you have different people from different walks of life saying the exact same thing, then it becomes a you problem. Because if I'm here, if you and I are in a stream, we're in Pickle Stream and we say the same thing, it's because we're related. We're in the same, we're in the same circles. But when you have people from different walks of life coming in and saying the exact same thing, then maybe you need to look inward and say, hey, maybe we should modify some things. But they chose not to. So
I'm not gonna let you say that without me reminding you, and I deserve an apology here. Reminding you, yesterday I streamed, and you go, "Oh look, he's talking about Black Panther again." Huh? How many times you always accuse of me of being the Black
was
Panther
it yesterday? Guy? No, it wasn't yesterday.
Sunday.
Yeah, and I anointed you to Chillmonger.
I deserve an apology because here I am trying to do something that has nothing to look. I came with the websites, I came with all of the box office charts, projections, budgets, estimates, and then you go, they don't listen to the Black Panther fans. I know, yeah, we've been there. That's why my followers are who they are. They're all the Black Panther followers. I try to talk about this thumbnail with nothing T'Challa related at all, and here you go.
Well, wait, do you have a problem with the action in that thumbnail, or you just have a problem with the appropriation?
One of the no, the poster. So look at the poster.
Right.
In the center of the poster is not the titled hero.
Well, you do know this is an homage, right?
In the center of the poster, that is an homage poster, is not the hero.
It doesn't. But Steve wasn't in the center in the homage either.
Steve never fought the Red Hulk in an homage cover.
No, that's an homage.
Oh, but the other posters have Sam Wilson in the front of it.
What? No, that's an homage.
Okay. Do the other posters have Sam Wilson in the center?
No. You do know what an homage is, right? Like they're honoring something that came before.
You're right. This is an homage poster.
Right.
This one, this poster here. Are there other posters of Brave New World?
Actually, yeah, I think they did do one that was like really, really cool. Let me see if I can find it.
Here we go. This was the first one.
Yeah, that was the very first one. That was like the teaser or whatever. Yeah.
How about this one?
Yeah, that's the one. I like that one.
Sure, I can easily tell who the lead of this film is.
Well, I know who the lead of the film is.
Mm-hmm.
It's Giancarlo.
Which poster?
Hello.
Sorry?
It's Giancarlo Esposito. He's the lead of the movie.
You can't just keep making jokes to avoid the seriousness of this issue here. Of that
What?
Marvel's posters, Marvel's brand, they'll try to claim to be this progressive forward company who don't restrict or hold back and don't take place in practices that are prejudice. In comes the branding for Captain America. They call it the fourth Captain America. Every single prior Steve Rogers poster, he was in the center, where he was walking and he had Black Widow beside him and Nick Fury beside him, but he was always there, front and center. The biggest person on the poster, there was no doubts of whose movie this was. Comes to Falcon and they don't do that. When I was talking about the poster, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah,
I guess I gotta show it.
Oh no, I'm looking at it right now.
Former posters.
Yeah, for like Winter Soldier and all that stuff, Civil War.
You can share your screen too. I'll find. I'll post you.
Oh no, it's literally whatchamacallits, just the Google thing, like what you're doing now. Yeah, just that.
So I got that there. He's right in the center, and the supporting cast is around him. We know whose movie this is. He is, I guess, not center because he's up top, but his very undermelanated skin tone is prominent in this, and he's the only guy in there. There's no Red Hulk punching him.
So you're saying okay? Hold on.
I hate when people do that. So you're saying, and then you're gonna.
Well, no, what you're implying is that the center of the movie poster determines the box office viability of the character, or who has the most box office clout, is what you're saying. This is the theory you're putting.
You did what I said. That's not what I was saying.
Well, I'm trying to understand, because I hear you're talking about the center and it's off and stuff like that. So that to me means that it's something askew because he's not in the center of the poster.
They're promoting this movie to the person who is something phobic. There's a phobia. I don't know what the word would be.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say colorist, against seeing that skin tone. They've got him in the shade. Maybe his skin's so dark because he's underneath the shield. You know, we see the lights on the left of him. Let me finish the whole thought process, though. Let me finish everything. The lights on the left, and there's shadow to the right. The contrast from the sparks being. 1 second, I'm getting called.
It's Sam.
Yeah, it was Sam. I'm not answering.
So which is the one? The homage is the official, because I mean they do a bunch of they do teaser posters and whatever and stuff like that, but that's the official one.
Yeah, it was the latest one that they've done, and I think it's the official one.
Well, see, because I like the one that you showed with the the collage or whatever, with everybody there and stuff like that. No, the Brave New World one, the previous one that you showed. That one, the second row, yeah, that one. See, I like that because, in fact, on my Plex, I use for Marvel stuff.
Oh no, they did. Sorry to interrupt you, but they did a poster that did have him in the middle. He's just smaller.
No,
never mind.
No, that's
never mind.
That's somebody on Reddit.
Poster by me. Never mind.
Yeah. But no, somebody did a series of posters like this, like the Brave New that one there. But they did it for Endgame and stuff like that and whatever else. And I never took into who was in the front and all that other stuff.
It's only when you notice the coincidence that it's worth talking and complaining about. When it just happens one time, whatever. It's just one time. Chillmonger, relax. You're a theorist and you always think the worst of this. But when we look at the history that they've had with a lot of other posters and characters, specifically China, remember that? But this is the American.
Well, see, but China, it wasn't only Finn. It wasn't only Finn that got the short shift, dude.
Okay. And I don't want to just make it a China conversation. I'm back to Marvel. This is the American poster. It's the main poster. And each time they had a chance to make a poster, there was more shenanigans with it. What are you going to tell me? The guy in the back has the biggest face, so therefore it's clear this is his movie. What about him falconing and flying through? Well, is his skin dark in that? How do I know that this is a melanated person with that. I don't
Well,
see his
Sam's
skin.
there. He's there twice. Well, wait. So
Yeah, I
you're
know he's there twice, isn't he? That's
and
the cheap
actually,
excuse.
well, actually, if you're looking at it too, I mean, he's the only one that's the actual size there. Like the other ones are the additions because he's standing there and he's holding the shield in his right hand. See what I'm saying? Like the shield isn't like they didn't just Photoshop the shield on there. He's holding it.
They call that devil's advocate, and I appreciate that take. That's that's the reason why we don't just do streams on our own and we're welcoming of other people. But even you have to agree that that's some bullshit, right? Like this is the third one. Mike just said, I don't
I
believe
can't.
in reparations. Mike just said 1965 was a mistake.
I am talking about a design aesthetic. That's it.
I know.
That's it has no like the placement or anything like that. Like, I mean, I would be upset because I don't know who Giancarlo Esposito is or supposed to be, or where's the leader? The leader isn't on there either. Like, if you're gonna call things out for not being accurate or whatever, like there's a character that hasn't been seen on any of the promotional material or in the trailer and all that stuff, and I think he's the one that sets all of these events into motion. But I understand what you're saying. I don't have a like.
If
Storm number 4 comes out tomorrow.
Okay, don't change the subject. I'll say this, and we'll get to your Storm comment. I'm not censoring you, brother, but you said, I understand what you're saying. Well, if you understand what I'm saying, and the next thing isn't, I agree with you, and it's like these counterpoints that are around the topic, but sort of are said to okay this practice, I'm always going to consider it or perceive it as a hostile move against the case that I'm making.
Well, let me ask you a question. I see Brother Stark's comment there. Do you like Sam as a character? Do you like do you genuinely, melanin aside, do you genuinely like him as a character other than someone who is sarcastic with Bucky and they have their quips at each other and stuff like that?
The movie character, like not the IP, yes, but the character Anthony played for like 7 appearances. Yeah, I'm thumbs up on him. I am.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't like the choice he made at the very end where he like.
Which one?
Okay, I'm Captain America now. No,
bro. When he took it?
Your friend gave you a shield.
Yeah.
With the shield. Don't call yourself Captain America and abandon your identity. What? You're Falcon. Elevate Falcon. And that's more to like Marvel as the executives who decide it. But he
originally he became Captain America because Steve was too old. Steve had aged up because what the hell's the dude's name? Some dude. He fought some dude, and I can't remember. He either sucked the super soldier serum out of him or repressed it or something like that. But it ended up with Steve aging up, so he joined Shield with what's her face, Sharon, and then Sam became Captain America for a little while. This was like 2014, 2015, and then I think somebody and I don't know if like. I do think people do things with intentions, like definitely, because I mean, we would have had a Black Panther and Captain Marvel movie a lot sooner had it not been for
Perlmutter.
Yeah. I do think that happens with intentions, but sometimes I don't think I don't think they're as aware as some people think they are, because they seem to have forgotten that they had a movie coming out in 2016 called Civil War, where Steve Rogers was Chris Evans' pretty. So they quickly said, oh, you know what? We got to get him young again. So they rushed a story. What was it? It was called Stakeout, something with an S, where a cosmic cube became sentient.
Are you away from the microphone?
No. Why?
It got lower.
Did it? Is it still lower now?
It was still lower, yes.
Oh, maybe I should get closer to it. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not Chillmonger close. I'm just like, but they decided to I think it was Stakeout. It was something where a cosmic cube was sentient, and at the end of the series, he was Chris Evans pretty again. Because they don't like, and this is the other thing too. This also happened when Peter Parker, quote unquote, died, and Doc Ock took over. It was like Amazing Spider-Man 2 was coming out the following summer. Do you think they're going to want Spider-Man to be freaking Doc Ock? Like, no. So, but this is the thing. Sometimes they don't seem to, I don't know if one division doesn't keep track of the other division, so they know, like the left hand knows what the right hand is doing. But they and then that also pivoted into Cap being part of Hydra, which caused people to lose their shit and death threats and all that stuff, because
The comic book synergy thing is very uninteresting to me. We know what 70,000 people buy this Amazing Spider-Man comic. Let's just say I'm just throwing a number out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because there's a movie coming out, ASM2 with Andrew Garfield, the movie viewers want to read comics. And I'm like, yeah, but how many new readers will be created from that? If it's an additional 70,000, abso-goddamn-lutely, you change that comic book story to match what's happening in the movie because we were about to double our audience. But
well,
we're
your
talking
boy,
about an influx of how many people from the movies will become a comic reader that month.
mm-hmm.
An extra 1,000, 2,000, maybe? I'm just choosing a number. It's definitely not double, though.
Well, your boy Ike thought that it would have, that apparently the comic books, the small number of like when you do a census poll and find out how many movie theaters there are in relation to how many comic stores there are, and you might see that there are quite a bit more movie theaters. Yet your boy Ike thought that the Fantastic Four comic would be able to stem the tide of the negativity for the last Fantastic Four movie. So he made an edict that the Fantastic Four book needed to be canceled because he didn't want to promote the Fantastic Four movie. And that's how we got Secret Wars, which also brought Miles over into 616.
That's why it's Captain America, we need backup. Michael Nemo, $5. So you're saying undermelanated heroes are better than very, very undermelanated heroes? Asshole. Listen, don't take my words to be some sort of anti-Caucasian monger, okay?
Hey, I'm still holding out for a Puerto Rican Italian superhero, so don't start. I'm not represented.
You just watch Wicked. You got Ariana Grande.
What?
Isn't she Puerto Rican Italian?
Is she? No, she's not. I just found out that what's her name was Puerto Rican, Aubrey Plaza, when Agatha started.
I found out something else about Aubrey Plaza this week.
What's that?
Her husband had died.
Oh, yeah. Well, he didn't die. But,
he didn't die?
Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't an accident. Like, he intentionally from his own hand. Yeah.
Everything got worse when I clicked on Michael's super chat. Undermelanated humans. Yeah. Listen, I'm just saying, like, I would like Sam Wilson. I do like his character. I can still enjoy the things that he does, but there's the message of the film is no. And I don't even feel like you got to support this because I want mantle swaps to never be considered again in future Marvel movies or DC movies. I want everyone in the industry watching to be like, okay, mantle swaps are not going to happen. Like, they're still got their pie charts. They still got their 12% of black that they need to fulfill. And I want to make sure that we maximize on that 12% of black and we make it of black franchises.
But see, that's the problem. When they're looking at charts, they shouldn't be looking at charts. They should be looking at the content of the stories and make sure that they're telling compelling stories regardless of what color of the character is involved. And that's part of the problem. I was actually having just a little while ago a conversation with a customer, and we were talking about like I mean, movies back in the day, like 80s, 90s, whatever, they seemed, and yes, I'm sure it was still a business then too, but it seems like things were less micromanaged. You know what I mean? Like there was more earnestness in the things that they wanted to do. They weren't like, well, we need to reach this demographic, so we're going to put this, we got to reach the cat lovers demographics. So let's put a cat in there, and, like stupid stuff like that. They would just tell a story and want the story to be good. And I mean, I don't know.
Garfield did that. They reached the cat demographic because they said, take a photo of your cat, you can show up in the movie. What? That was a great promotional tactic.
Yeah, no.
Sam is very sidelined and deserved more time as Falcon. Comic Sam is great. Standoff, it was the lead in the Hydra Cap, and see when you call it stakeout, standoff.
It started with an S, whatever.
You did say it started with an S.
Yeah.
The comics will ape off of movies ideas to expand audiences, not to promote the films.
Oh, I disagree with that. No. They're going. what sense would it make if you have, like, you're going to the comic books, the comic company, they obviously, number one, and this is the other thing we were talking about earlier too, they don't care about me. They don't care about Chill. They care about the people that don't watch Chill. They care about the people that don't come into my store. They want the normies. And back in the day, they were making comic book movies. So I guess the people that were involved in there were also comic book people that cared about, the way they were telling the stories. Because there's nothing wrong with the stories. If the normies aren't reading it, it's maybe because they don't know about it. It's not because they've read it and like, oh, you know what, Hush, I don't like this story. Or I don't like, Demon in a Bottle, or whatever the case is. It's like they just don't like, they don't read comic books. It's not that they've read them and they don't like them. So the stories that they were telling, the elements that they were using, those were all in the comic books. And you had people who weren't comic book readers coming into that universe, coming into the MCU and enjoying what was there. There's nothing like, anytime somebody says, oh, we couldn't figure out a way to get into this character, or we couldn't figure out a way to get into the story. Like, there's thousands and thousands of things that they could use called comic books that would actually inform them. If you don't know how to write Sam, just like, who was it? You highlighted somebody saying, comic book Sam is good. If you don't have a problem, if you have a problem getting into Sam, understanding Sam, then you go find the person. Like, and this is the thing too, just because a comic book writer is writing a character, that does not mean that they understand said character that they're writing. There are also comic book writers like, Bendis is terrible with anything, but let me think of somebody. Oh, Peter David. Speaking of, we were talking about Peter David too. Apparently Peter David is destitute, which I find disgusting also, because this is a guy who wrote one of the best X books that nobody ever read, X Factor. He also wrote a lot of Star Trek stuff. He wrote Spider-Man stuff, and yet he has to have a GoFundMe to help with his medical bills. Like, that should be taken care of by Marvel. Like, all of the thousands and billions of dollars that they've made, and they can't help the people that actually created the things that they're now leeching off of. Like, that's just disgusting.
Understood.
But anyways, yes.
Back to comic book movies, and Sam Wilson's projected to gross 86 million.
Well, hold on, no, but you have to, it can't just be, there isn't participation credit. You can't just say, okay, well, we need a black character, so we're going to put Sam in there, and then we're just, whatever happens, happens. You have to give him a compelling story. And if you can't do that, there are things that you can utilize to find a way to make Sam a compelling character, because there have been people in history since the 70s that have written Sam as a character, and you can go back and read those for inspiration. Unless you're Nate Moore and you have a problem because it's a red flag that you don't want people to, utilize the comic books.
Mm-hmm. So the budget
did you approve of that Nate Moore dig? I put that in there for you.
Yeah, great. You had any digs for this guy? Because he's the one still working there, and
yeah, I don't know exactly why he's letting the asylums run the inmates run the asylum. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, he had everything locked down for like 10 years or so, and now
maybe it's not the inmates, and maybe it's him.
Oh, so you think after 10 years he's just like, yeah, you know what? Let's burn it all. Let's get Rick and Morty people. We'll have them come in with their nonsensical things about making we're going to make this the gayest thing ever, or whatever it is that they say they do, and they don't back it up with good stories. They don't back it up with like rational characterizations. Agatha was good. I haven't I'm not one of those. I haven't had a problem with the majority of the stuff. The problem that I've had is the people complaining about the majority of the stuff. It's like, if this universe no longer serves the purpose for you, then move on and stop talking about it, but people can't stop doing that. Current company excluded, of course, because you're not that.
Good. You didn't mention Ryan Kinnell. You almost
dude. Well, if you want to, give him a shout out, then by all means, but I saw enough of him in Springfield.
What does that mean?
You don't remember when he pointed out the
okay, no, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that was enough for me.
Sam in the comics had Falcon solo series before he was Captain America. As Falcon, he was a crucial black hero. The MCU turned him into a supporting hero, even his own show. Bucky beat John Walker.
Yeah.
What's your definition of a mantle swap? Anything that can be considered a mantle swap is a mantle swap. I'm not like we're gonna.
But isn't mantle isn't the definition of mantle like it's something that gets passed from? Because even in I think it was Civil War.
Whatever scenario you're about to give me, the answer is yes. That was a mantle swap.
Well, no,
the average MCU fan will never read a comic. Yeah, but the MCU did make me want to become a comic book reader, and it was nothing to do with like a promotional something that they did to change in comic books to make people who are not even aware of comic books, read a comic book.
And clearly Marvel felt a certain type of way because after the Avengers, they rushed a Brian Michael Bendis story.
You always mention that on my channel. They know by now.
Resembled
Miles,
the team
Sam
that
Wilson,
was in the
Riri
movies.
are examples of race swaps. Take mantle swap, whatever. Secondary characterness, yes. Take an already established white character, swapping a mantle with a black person, sell the mantle of a white hero. Brave New World swaps Captain America with a black character, and the MCU's sheep feeling it's a black movie. And it's not. Like when I Google Captain America, those words, I would have gotten Steve Rogers. When like, everyone generally knows what Captain America looks like, who he is, and Marvel will not stop making Captain America Steve Rogers ever. So like, what are we trying to do here? Why are we trying to get this temporary representation over here? It's just a waste of time. And when I know that how few of the 33 movies that Marvel does have leads like this, it's an insane waste. Comic fans go to all these movies regardless of quality or how closely they stick to the source material. And I remember that the Captain Marvel sequel only grossed $200 million. Remember that.
But I did say that. That's why I said that they don't care about you or me because they know we're going to go check. Well, I mean, up until a certain point now, but back then when they had all the political capital or whatever, like the good faith, we would go to the movies. We would go see it regardless.
So while I project what this movie will gross, I'm aware that Captain Marvel 2 made $205 million worldwide. What will Brave New World do in February? 300 million, 400 million. The projection.
Hold on. I mean, I don't think. See, this isn't. And since I'm Puerto Rican, I don't know if I can speak to black issues, but like I saw where, Brother Stark said that it has MCU sheep feeling it's a black movie. I don't like.
I'm done the black and white. I'm talking about projection.
Well, no. But I'm saying,
you better give me your estimate.
Hold on. There was a show called Community, and one of the characters in there, it was during the Dungeons and Dragons episode, which you guys should watch too. It was really good. They were talking about how one of the characters, who they call Fat Neil, how he got his name Fat Neil. And then when they were saying, well, why didn't you call him this Neil? Why didn't you call him that? Why'd you have to call Fat Neil? And he's like, well, I don't see the world through that prism. So when I see like Black Panther, I didn't think Black Panther was a black movie. I thought it was a comic book movie. Like that's the prism that I see this stuff through. But I don't like that movie made $1 billion, but that was, to me, that was an outlier because that transcended what a comic book movie was. And it became like a cultural thing. It wasn't just solely, hey, this is the black superhero. Like
this is going to be a cultural thing.
No, I'm not saying that, but that's an outlier. And maybe that's because it didn't take place in America. I mean, like seeing Falcon and Winter Soldier, when you're watching that and you're seeing like, when they're walking and then the cop stops them and says, what are you doing walking there or whatever? And people are like, oh, that was like, that came out of nowhere. And it's like, well, no, it didn't come out of nowhere because that's an experience that a lot of black people have in this world. Like just because you don't experience that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. But I just...
You want to hear a complaint about that scene, but not from a racist white? Look, they're putting it in a movie. They're popularizing this. They're creating sympathy for black folks. That makes me angry. You want to hear another criticism? Imagine being black. You're watching this entertainment. Look, I came through my door. I'm safe here. I've got my home. Turn on my entertainment, and I still can't escape this police brutality image. Why is my image consistently being associated with police brutality? There's a problem there. It should have never been in the thing.
Wait,
I would have never put it in.
So you had a problem with that scene?
I would have never put it in it. Did I have a problem with it? Really? I have a problem with keep seeing the scenes. If it happens once ever, That's fine.
Uh-huh.
But when they're so prominent, like and all the movies happen to have that or slavery or negative themes like that, then it's an overall problem.
But
It's
see,
not that
if somebody's able to sit there and think that this doesn't happen, or or if the here we go again, and not in a as a black person seeing it, but as a white person seeing it or whatever, and rolling their eyes or whatever, like then maybe it should make them uncomfortable, or it should have them have that, because this is what black people have to go through regardless. Like, they don't have the option of like ignoring it, or just, oh, I'm going to change the movie, or
you know what I
because
would
it
like for
doesn't
them
happen.
to see Falcon
Mm.
or for them to see Black Panther. That's what I would like. And in a film that has nothing to do with race. And then they can just live vicariously through that for 8 episodes a month, 6 episodes. If they could just have that and cheer for Sam Wilson, right? If they can humanize him, his skin tone is on screen, it's present. He's the lead, he's in the theme music, he's in the intro and the outro, and it's just not related to race. And it doesn't actually make them uncomfortable. It makes them feel comfortable too. We can have other shows make them uncomfortable too. We can get both. There's a little bit here for educational, there's a little bit here for just entertaining, but just that is missing. It's too much themes, that narratives. That's a problem. So let's hear your estimates. Drew Manchu says 200 million isn't indicative of the demographic of the viewers. The small demo of the comic book readers can't be discounted because then of an overall lower viewership.
Mm.
It's just I'm just telling you what the basement is. The basement, like the least amount a Marvel movie can do at the theaters, is 200 million, as has been proven by Captain Marvel. I don't think they make less than 200 million ever. I think that was the basement.
Wait. But there's different qualifiers. Then you have to look at comic book movies, and then you have to look at movies that came out in February. If you want to do that,
I think regardless of the month,
yeah.
we'll never
Well,
get
no,
a
because
Marvel movie.
February.
We'll never get a Marvel movie with $74 million of a box office worldwide gross. That'll never happen from the MCU. A Marvel Studios produced character will never make 75. I think 200 is the lowest.
Well, I think Deadline had it projected at 60 to 90 million opening weekend or something like that. I think I saw that as a tweet or something.
I actually said it a couple times on the stream, and
Oh, really?
I had a screen open, and maybe I closed it, but it was at 86 million to 95 million.
Oh, okay, that was even more. I think also, see, I understand the way you're approaching this, but I also
Logically.
think that a good trailer helps, and I think they've had a couple of good trailers.
Yeah.
The way they've done them.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's an informed opinion that I'm about to hear. Give me my estimate. Finally, what is your estimate?
I honestly, I can't give you one. I don't know. I can't remove my biases from it, and I can't remove the apathy I've been seeing from the internet and whatnot. So I don't know. I don't know where it is anymore. It's like it's gone both ways. It's like there's these people that like just hate, like you're not seeing any Marvel movie. You've banned it. You and Dre and I forgot, there was one other one.
I don't think Dre stopped. I think Dre said he would still watch.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's like at the very least, you should see it like as part of your quote unquote job.
I know what you mean.
But
yeah, I'm not mad at anyone who does still see it because it's their, bread and butter. This is they got to stay informed. I'll watch it on my computer here, sitting on this chair, and I won't pay for it unless I hear like this was a very woke movie. Then I'll have to go watch the movie.
So would you be able, after watching it, would you be able to say, yeah, it was a good movie?
Yeah, I could say that to you now. I could say Deadpool and Wolverine was a good movie, and I did the same thing. I stayed at home.
No. Did you like Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah.
On a number scale, what would you give it?
Maybe 8.
Yeah. You didn't mind like all the multiversal thing and all that stuff? Because
that's why it's an 8. It would be a 10.
Okay.
If it had more stakes and characters who stayed, and he was in the MCU and he wasn't like in the Fox U, whatever number they gave it.
You do realize that was a closure for the Fox thing.
Sure.
thankfully.
Unneeded closure.
Getting
No one
buried.
like what are we talking about here?
No, come
We're
on.
introducing something. Oh, the Fox. The fans really need to say goodbye to
As
Fox.
much
Get out of
as
here.
as much as I hate all that, and I do, I'm on
Yeah, Toy
record
Story
as
3 was
very.
closure, and then we had a Toy Story 4. We're gonna get Fox characters
There
again
was
in
no
Secret
Toy Story
Wars.
4. What are you talking about? Toy Story 3 was the end.
Yep.
But no, those people
Captain
deserve
America Brave New World has a final runtime of an hour and 58 minutes. It's the shortest Captain America film ever. No, it's an hour and 58. Things have been cut out of this movie. They've spent so much movie shooting stuff. They probably didn't need to. So much money shooting stuff. They didn't need to.
Do you know any of the
These-
changes that have been
Can I
made?
can I say that the
Oh no,
small runtime is a response. It's to get the most amount of screenings in a movie theater as quickly as possible. The Captain Marvel sequel was a runtime of an hour 40. It was something short like that also. And it was for the same reason. It was let's make some money now. Let's cut scenes out. The scene where Monica Rambeau calls herself Photon has been cut out of the movie. It wasn't important. They just need to
wait,
get
what
this
movie?
movie out there for the most amount of screenings. The movie ticket's going to cost the same thing a movie ticket would have costed if it had an additional 30 minutes or additional 10 minutes. This movie is going short, and it's a sign. You agree with me at all there?
I don't know. I asked you if you were. I was curious to know if you knew what any of the changes were, like what they were
Seth
taking
Rollins
out.
is out of the movie.
Well, that I think that was for the best because it's just him going. Oh, I don't want to hear his theme song for like 30. That was 30 minutes right there, just them doing his theme song, annoying theme song. So that was a good thing. Are any of the others? Wasn't he like playing the Serpent Society or something like that?
Yeah, that's been cut out of the
That's
movie.
that's cut out too. Well, see, I don't know. As far as things being cut out, and this is another thing we touched on earlier. I know people had a problem. They brought up because this is what I don't understand. If a company, whether it's a movie company or a TV or whatever, and they actively try to make something better by changing it, whether it's a good change or not, it's all subjective.
Yeah.
But when they actively try to do something like Daredevil, like originally apparently Daredevil, Foggy and Karen weren't in there, and then he didn't even show up in the costume until like episode 5 or whatever. It was like something stupid, ridiculous.
You mean Netflix or Brave New World or a
No, Daredevil.
Which
Born
Daredevil?
Again. Born Again. The series that's coming out.
Okay, the new series wasn't supposed to have Karen and Foggy.
No, it wasn't. They weren't going to be in it, and Daredevil didn't show up in the costume until episode 5. So somebody said, "Hey, you know what? Maybe we should pivot and give the fans what they want, or the natural progression of things, or whatever." So they fixed it. So we don't know exactly what's been changed from this, other than thankfully cutting out Seth Rollins from this movie. Maybe the other things tightened the story up. Maybe it added some things. We don't know. Maybe it could have been the worst too. I do believe there's some credence to trying to fit as many showtimes in as possible to at least get the first weekend and the second weekend, to be the biggest or whatever. But yeah. I don't know.
Thank you for that. Captain America Red Hulk Rises. It's a better name. Closer movies are just for feelings. Look at Wakanda Forever. Closer movies do not always work. Any response to that?
Well, when done right, they do, because there's a lot of people that think that Endgame was a closer movie.
Guardians 3 was a closer movie.
Yes.
Seth Rollins, aka real name Colby Lopez, can't be a good actor. He is a shit promo. Damn. We need to show Disney that our black dollars count. Give us the real T'Challa.
See, but wait, how can he say that? Because the majority of his promos are just like literally the audience singing that stupid song, dude.
I thought you would disagree with Puma Lee. How can he say that?
Oh wait, no.
But he's another one of those. Killmonger only talks about recast T'Challa community members. Puma Lee, you, everybody. Guys, I have other likes and interests, and right now, it was Captain America Brave New World. That was the point of this stream. Rewind to see the beginning of it.
We know they do a
I'm ending the stream. Let me end the stream.
No, wait.
We can talk for like an hour right after I end the stream, but I want to end the stream because we're at an hour mark.
Well, no, because this was going to show Puma that Disney, I think they at least acknowledge slightly that black dollars do count, because I mean there's a show that they have called World of Color, which is like a pretty cool, like, did you ever see like the fountains in Las Vegas, the out front. They like shoot up streams and they do like shows and stuff like that. They have something called World of Color one, and then they have a Marvel section in there immediately right after, because it begins with Sam saying on your left, and then you see Steve throw the shield, and then right after that it's T'Challa saying Wakanda forever, and then there's like
kayak to book flights on days that cost.
Keep going.
He has him say Wakanda forever, and then you see T'Challa, the Black Panther thing, and then in the Avengers campus shop they have or whatever, they have Shuri's the gauntlets and stuff like that.
So this at the Disney World Resort in California.
California Adventure, yeah. No, you're close. You're close. It's like right after Mulan, I think. Yeah, that's Coco. Keep going. Oh, there was Star Wars.
Politicians.
Oh, Canadians. Well, pretty soon you guys are going to be Americans, so. Star Wars. Keep going. There's Mulan, so it's right after this, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, wait, actually, no, wait. No, I think that's... Oh, wait, there we go, yeah. Oh, keep going.
How much forward should I jump?
A little more. No, that's still Mulan. No, Mulan.
I might have to turn the music down. So what movie is this? Mulan still?
That's Mulan, yeah. And that's what was it? Moana.
So it's past Moana?
Yeah.
What franchise is that?
That's still Moana. That's the thing she was fighting at the end. There we go. Back. Yeah, back. Okay. And then the portals. See? Sam?
Yeah, I heard it. So why did I play that?
Keep going. Hold on. Well, I guess you wanted to see T'Challa. Keep going.
Okay. T'Challa will show up here.
Just watch. Right after he throws the shield.
Throws the shield and Black Panther.
See?
Yeah. And then his sister right afterwards. So why did I pull that up again?
Well, I don't know. I guess you wanted to see it. I think it's pretty cool. But
no, you said something about the worlds of color in Disney.
Why? Oh no, Disney. Yeah, Disney with black dollars stuff. I think this does matter.
You thought a 10-second clip in a 24-minute video meant something? Like you're like, look.
Well, as far as Marvel, they acknowledge Black Panther as a character. They put him second. Like they don't show Thor until the very, very, very end.
Goodbye, Mike. Thank you for coming, everyone. Michael Nemo, appreciate your super chats. I'm chill. I don't celebrate crumbs, and I'm out.